Good morning, guys, and welcome to my channel. I haven't been on here for a while. It's just been crazy and hectic with a 3-year-old and a newborn. That is life for now, but I want to share my birth story. And before I completely forget, I had to write down notes because I'm already forgetting every single detail. Oliver just turned 1 month old, so before it gets too far out, I want to do this video. And yeah, so about 3 weeks before my due date, I was just getting so uncomfortable and just having a lot of pain. As you guys know, I had SPD. I had some pubic pelvis pain, so I had to go to a chiropractor for that, and it helped a lot, but I was just getting so uncomfortable, and it was just hard with, you know, watching a 3-year-old and just being so big. And so I went to my doctor's appointment and asked him to move my induction date from 40 weeks to 39 weeks. So on Sunday I turned 39 weeks, and on Monday morning we went in to get induced. So we woke up at about 5 o'clock and we started heading out at 5:30. We stopped by Wake Up Call, got some coffee, and we brought like a avocado toast, ate that in the hospital parking lot. And at 6 in the morning, we did call ahead. I called at 5 in the morning and told the labor and delivery that we are coming in about at 6. We had to go through the emergency room, so they signed us in there and took us over to the labor and delivery area. And as we came in, they asked us if we were gonna do the so once we got there, they asked us if we were gonna do the COVID testing. If I would have answered no. At first I said that I wasn't going to, and they're like, okay, so we will put you in a smaller room, kind of isolated, and we will treat you as a COVID positive patient. And every time we come in, we have to come in with like heavy gear, and you have to wear a mask. And it just sounded crazy, and I'm like, okay, I will test. I don't want to be in a tiny room, and I don't want you guys to do that. You know, I want it to be as comfortable and as relaxed as possible. You know, I'm gonna have a baby. I want it to be a memorable time. So I went and they put me in a big, nice room, and I changed into my labor and delivery gown. Hi, buddy. Hi. And then, hey. And then they came in, so we got in, and then at 7 they put in, let me hold that, buddy. At 7 they put in my IV. It took them a while, I think 3 pokes. After that, at 7:30 they came in and did the coronavirus test. They put like this long swab up my nose and hold it there for 10 seconds. I had to wear a mask because it can make you sneeze or cough. And the lady, my nurse, you know, was gonna be really close doing the test. It was definitely not as bad as I thought, but it was very uncomfortable and it made me teary. But overall it wasn't that bad. And then at 8 o'clock they came in and they put in Pitocin. So they started the Pitocin, a pretty low dose, and every half hour to, yeah, about every half hour she would come in and put it up about two numbers up or something like that. I don't know exactly what they mean and stuff. It's just stronger, higher dose. And then at that time they drew my blood just to see what blood type and everything I have if I do decide to have an epidural. And they told me that I can still eat until I get my epidural. And then they messed up with my last name, so they had to redo my tags and the paperwork, but good thing we caught it on time. When she was calling about my blood work, she was saying my last name, and I was like to the nurse, she's spelling my last name wrong, so we caught it like at the perfect timing. At 11, she put the wireless heart rate monitor on my belly so it can monitor the baby and my contractions wirelessly. And then she upped my Pitocin to a number 9, and she checked me and I was still at a 3. I barely had any contractions. And then I just sat on the birthing ball and just kind of hanged out on the birthing ball. And it was really slow, like nothing much happening, practically no contractions. The Pitocin wasn't doing very much at all. At 11:30, she upped my Pitocin to 11. The contractions started to get a little bit bigger, like stronger. I started having a bit of mild back pain when the contractions would happen. I would just sit on the birthing ball and just listen to music. It was pretty relaxful, and my husband was just there with me, and nothing much happening again. Around 12, a doctor came, a lady OB came, and she broke my water. And right after that, I started having pretty bad contractions. They were pretty close, not one after another. I had a little break, but they were getting very painful. And I watched some YouTube videos about breathing techniques, and I was trying those breathing techniques, but the contractions were just so painful that it hurt to breathe. So it was just terrible. Like, I tried to go as long as possible, which was only an hour and a half. So at about 12, I got my water broken, and at 1:30 I got my epidural, because I was like, it was getting really bad. I was trying to breathe through them. I was starting to moan. It was like, I was like, ah, like it was pretty painful. I did not videotape that part because it was intense, and I was not thinking about videotaping at that moment. I was just like, survive through this moment, and then yeah. So I did not videotape that when I was in pain. After I got the epidural, it definitely started easing off a lot, but my left side was more numb than my right. So I was still feeling a little bit of pressure on my right side. So they were trying to tilt me a little bit so my right side would get more numb. I was still being pretty movable. I was able to move my legs, my left side a little bit less than my right side. And then they checked me, and I was only at a 4. So I was 3 centimeters at 11, and I was 3 centimeters at my 38-week appointment. So all of through that, at 1:30 when she checked, I was only at a 4. So not much progression at all. So the Pitocin didn't do anything, and having my water broken after an hour and a half only opened up to 1 centimeter more. I started using sage oil. My husband would put about 2 drops on my stomach, and he would rub it all over my stomach, and we did that twice within between 1 and 3 or 1 and 4, around there. We did it twice. That's supposed to help your contractions progress and help you move things along faster, which I really think it actually helped. So at 3:10, a little bit less than 2 hours later, my doctor came in and put a catheter in, and he checked me, and I was at a 6 centimeters. So I started progressing much faster after the epidural just being relaxed, and my body just started going and progressing. And so after that, I just tried to take a nap and just relax. We dimmed the lights, just listening to music, and it was just very relaxful, trying to take a little nap, close the windows just to get some rest. 4:10, my nurse checked me and I was at 8 centimeters. So about an hour later, I opened up 2 more centimeters, and after she checked me, I started shaking and I was starting to feel pain very, very low with my contractions. And I was getting really shaky, and I was telling my nurse, like, what is going on? Why am I shaking? I'm not cold, but I'm like shaking and I can't stop, and I'm feeling pain down there. And she's like, that's usually when you're transitioning into about to have the baby, and so that's what your body does. And so at 4:45, about 30 minutes later, she checked me again, and I was at a 10. I was ready to have the baby. She's like, okay, 4:45, let's try and do some practice pushes, and I will go and call the doctor. So she went and told the doctor that I am ready, and she came in, and I was still pretty shaky, and with each, like almost every contraction, I started feeling pressure down there, and like I was just like starting to need to breathe through my contractions. She moved my bed, got everything ready. She's like, okay, let's try and do a push, like a couple pushes, and see how things go. And so she told me to push, and I started pushing, and she's like, stop. So I didn't even do one full push, and she's like, the baby's coming out already, there's the head. And the doctor comes in right away, and I can literally feel the baby like slipping out of me. Like, it was crazy. Like, not even one push, she starts taking everything off and putting the bed back, and she's like, doctor, this was only one push and the baby's coming out. And so from 4:10, I was at 8 centimeters, and at 4:59, I gave birth. So he just started sliding out, and the doctor just gently just took him out, and it was just so like easy, so calm, so chill. Just the doctor and my nurse that was helping me, and then just one more nurse came in, that was the baby nurse, and they put the baby right away on me, and the baby nurse helped me put him in my gown, and then later she helped me breastfeed him, and I did skin to skin with him for 3 hours before they even touched him or did any testing. So I just got my 3 golden hours with him, cuddling and breastfeeding practically all of that time. It took him about not even 5 minutes to latch. At first he wasn't really wanting to latch or anything, and I was kind of getting a little concerned, but then he latched perfectly after those 5 minutes or so, and then he was eating for almost 3 hours. So yeah, that is my birth story. It just kind of took off really fast, and it just at the end just super fast, very crazy. Just happened like all of a sudden. Did not expect it at all to happen that fast, or like not even be pushing, like just literally like half a push and he was just slipping out. But yeah, that is my birth story for baby boy number 2. I hope you guys like this video, and don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.